roommates Q&A for you guys. Have you ever had a roommate? I've had multiple roommates in my time. Right now, I have a roommate. He's a good kid. He's about 22, 23, works at FedEx. And I used to work at Amazon for 4 years. I worked my way up. I was a dispatcher. I was a manager. So, I share a little bit of my wisdom with him on delivering packages. He complains a lot about working at FedEx, and so because here's the thing about working for a delivery service is when you deliver to apartments, you always have to go door to door. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm one of the guys that leaves it in the mailroom, gets reported. But what does that really do? Nothing. How did you meet your roommate? So through a friend. My friend Sam introduced me to this guy, and the person I was living with before, we weren't really getting along, so I decided to move in with this other guy, and we found an apartment, and now we live together. How many roommates have you had over the years? So, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe total, probably 6 total. What made you decide to live with roommates instead of alone? I mean, I can't afford to live by myself, especially out here in Los Angeles. Way too expensive. That's honestly the real reason. I would not want to live alone because I get very scared at night. Like if I hear something in the middle of the night, it scares me so much. But because I live with someone, if I hear something in the middle of the night, I could just tell my brain that it's them, even though it might not be, and it really could be someone trying to break in. But I just feel a little safer living with another person. What were your first impressions of your roommate? So my current roommate, he's a little bit pretentious. Like he's one of these film guys, but like he's a very pretentious film guy. Like he loves Darren Aronofsky and Alfred Hitchcock. Me, dude, I like Spielberg and George Lucas. I like Star Wars, Indiana Jones. He likes, I can't even name the movies he likes because they're so like over my head. They're all French movies. It's a little bit much. Like he thinks I'm stupid. That's my biggest pet peeve with him, is how stupid he thinks I am, just because I enjoy like superheroes and I like franchise films. Like I enjoy watching a good trilogy. But he thinks I'm stupid for that, which actually sucks. But I could kick his ass, and he, what's he gonna do about it? Did those first impressions turn out to be accurate? I mean, yeah, he's pretentious. He's a pretentious guy. The thing about him that is good though is we don't. So like if I call him and I'm like, do you need anything from the store, and I get it for him, we don't pay each other back. We just get things for each other, which is actually pretty nice. What is the best thing about having a roommate? Well, it's not him watching the TV at 100 volume at 2 in the morning. I'll tell you that. That pisses me off. He was doing that last night. He was watching Entourage, and I'm in my room and all I hear is the theme song. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm like, bro, it's 2 in the morning. It said, what's the best thing? I guess I just ranted. The best thing is, honestly, it's like going to the store with each other is pretty fun. Like we both have a Costco membership. That's pretty nice. I like that. And he's a nice guy. What's the most challenging thing about having a roommate? We do argue. So like I bought this trash can and he's like, man, I don't like the trash can you got. I'm like, bro, it's a trash can. Like, and that's what I'm talking about with being pretentious. Like I told him, like, go buy a trash can. And then he's like looking at the price. He's like, oh, these are way too expensive. I'm like, see, I bought one $40. Yeah, it's not that nice of a trash can, but it's a trash can. Who cares? So that's a challenging thing. We'll argue about stupid things. But I do think it's good to argue because I think that brings you closer and it shows the other person your likes and your dislikes. But yeah, stupid things like that, like complaining about the trash can, or he always sets the fire alarm off when he cooks, which is really, like, literally every time he cooks, he sets the fire alarm off. Also, he never uses the air conditioner, so, like, I'll get home after a long day, and it's 97 degrees in the house. I'm like, bro, use the air conditioner. He's like, I'm fine. And I need a cold house to sleep. I cannot sleep if it's hot. Like, I will be up all night. Are you a neat roommate or a messy roommate? I'm half and half, so, like, I'll let things get really messy and then I'll spend one day cleaning and then I'll let it get messy again. I keep my room pretty clean, but the kitchen is always the hardest thing to keep clean. What's your cleaning routine like? just kind of, if it gets a little too, you know what it is, if it starts to smell, like honestly, like it could be so dirty, and if it smells fine, I won't clean it, but when it really starts to stink, that's when I'll start cleaning. Who usually does the dishes? So we kind of do a caveman style, like it's kind of whoever, it's honestly really random, it's just like he did the dishes last night, I noticed, but then he also had the TV at 100 volume, but I didn't get mad at him because he did the dishes. So we kind of do, so like if I'm gonna have people over and I don't want to tell him, I'll just clean the entire house, and then he can't complain because I just cleaned the whole house, right? So that's kind of how we do it. Have you ever had disagreements about household chores? No, we don't really. Honestly, we don't argue about the chores because, yeah, no. Do you prefer sharing food or keeping groceries separate? We do share food sometimes, but I will say I bought a huge pack of strawberries a couple weeks ago, and he ate like 90% of them, and I was kind of annoyed. So I don't buy strawberries anymore. What rule do you think every roommate situation should have? The TV after 11 p.m. should not be at 100. I think that's a pretty good rule. Other than that, I mean, me and my boy, it's a kind of a lawless society, so we don't really have too many rules. What's one thing a roommate has done that drove you crazy? So I used to live with a guy who was like legit crazy, and he would just smoke all day, but this is what annoyed me. He would just cough so much, and it was like gross coughs, and it was like so annoying. And you're not gonna go out and be like, stop coughing, because you can't really help it, but it was so disgusting, it like actually pissed me off. What's the funniest thing a roommate has ever done? Oh, this is kind of a good question. I don't know what the funniest thing, I mean, you know what, that's hard. I might have to come back to that, because I can't think of the funniest thing a roommate has done. Yeah, okay. Have you ever walked into an awkward situation at home? So, a couple of years ago, I was living with one of my best friends, and there was a bathroom in his room, and that was the bathroom that I used most of the time. And so there was one day I go into his room to use the bathroom, and there's on his bed, and my friend is gone, just in his bed, and I'm like, this is, and I'm like, I have to go take a. And so that was really awkward because I did not expect that. So that was awkward. And like meanwhile, I'm still walking to the bathroom while she's just in the room. What is the strangest habit you've seen a roommate have? One of my roommates, he would like wash his blankets like too much. Like every other day he would wash his blankets. I thought that was weird. It was just like he was doing that a little too much. Have you ever had a roommate who talked in their sleep? No, I have not. Have you ever accidentally embarrassed yourself in front of a roommate? There was one time me and my roommate were drinking and his dad was over, and I don't know how it got to this, but I fell down the stairs, and I don't know how that happened, but I fell down the stairs really hard. And I went to my room. I don't know why, but I was really embarrassed. I think it was because his dad saw me, and I was like, he probably thinks I'm an idiot. What's the funniest misunderstanding you've had with a roommate? I don't know if any of the misunderstandings I've had with roommates have been really funny. I will say, me and one of my roommates from a couple years ago, we bought a ping pong table and we played every day, and we got so good at ping pong. It was really just arguments about like rules with ping pong. Have you ever forgotten a roommate was home and started talking to yourself? No, but I have forgotten a roommate was home and I was just singing at the top of my lungs. I was singing James Taylor, and then when I realized they were home, it was kind of embarrassing. I was like, ooh, that's a little awkward. Would you rather live with a close friend or a complete stranger? So I've done both, and honestly, they say you should never live with your friends. I think you should, because I lived with a stranger and it was the worst year of my entire life. Would you rather have one roommate or several roommates? So I've lived with several and I've lived with one. If you live with several, it's a little bit more fun, but one, I think one's just a little bit better. Would you rather live with someone who's extremely neat or extremely funny? Okay, so I'm the funny one, right? So I don't need to live with another funny guy. I would say neat, because they could clean up after my mess. what is the most important quality in a good roommate? Honestly, the most important quality in anybody ever is just having a good heart and being a good person, knowing the difference between right and wrong. I think that's the most important thing. What quality would be a deal breaker for you in a roommate? I don't know what would be a deal breaker. That's something I haven't really thought about too much. I guess just like a gross person, someone that doesn't shower, or you know what? I used to have a roommate who would like leave food out overnight and for days. And I know you're wondering like, why wouldn't you just get it? Because it's not mine. That's his responsibility. Like, he needs to learn. I'm not just gonna, if I continuously pick up his food, then that shows him he could leave it out with no consequence. So that's a deal breaker. Do you prefer a quiet home or a lively home? I'm 50-50. Like, sometimes, like, if it's 2 in the morning and you're watching Entourage, I wish it was quiet. But sometimes it's fun when it's lively and you're playing ping pong with your boys. Like, that's fun. If you could choose any fictional character as a roommate, who would it be? You know what? Probably James Bond, because he would never be home. He would always be doing some international stuff. And think about it, if he was home, he'd bring you know what? James Bond would be a good wingman because he's always getting laid. Now, imagine he was helping you if James Bond was helping you get laid, imagine how often you would be getting laid, right? So maybe James Bond. I mean, there's a lot of fictional characters that I would want to be roommates with. Han Solo, because then you get Chewbacca, but then does he shed everywhere? That's something that you gotta think about. So maybe not Han, but Han Solo does have the Millennium Falcon. I don't know. If you could choose a celebrity as a roommate, who would it be? The girl from the Obsession movie, the one that just came out, she's so hot. I would actually just I love her, and I don't even know her, and I love her. I would like to be roommates with her. I'd like to be in a relationship with her. If your roommate won the lottery, what do you think would change first? Probably where I live. I kind of live in a bad part of town, so I think we'd probably live in like a nicer area. If you had an unlimited budget, would you still have roommates? I think I would. Yeah, I think I would. If your roommate could only communicate through song lyrics for a week, how would that go? I think it would go well because I would also respond with song lyrics. I've always wanted, because like, I wish we lived in like a musical world. If you could create the perfect roommate, what traits would they have? I would just clone myself, honestly. It'd be cool to like I've always wanted a twin. What has having roommates taught you about other people? Other people are everybody's just as disgusting as you. Like, you think you're not disgusting, you are. Everybody's disgusting is what I learned. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to subscribe to our Patreon. Be sure to subscribe to our Patreon. Be sure to sign up to our